Yes, brothers and sisters, lovers, haters, boys, girls, and vibrations, I hope everybody is well. First of all, I just want to give a big thank you to Alex Matvienko and John Fury for the invite down to the Elite Boxing Club in Bolton. I had a really good day. I was a little nervous on the way down, if I'm honest. I always get nervous when I'm travelling to spar, but a little more so today. But that quickly vanished when I arrived. I was made to feel very welcome. The place was filled with good people who were all in boxing for the right reasons. Some good coaches. Very nice, kind, courteous, polite, everything you would expect. I warmed up and had a few rounds with Roman Fury, who is a good, slick southpaw with good feet. It was quite hard to catch clean. A couple of rounds with him, which I enjoyed, and he's a good prospect, and he's only 1-0, and I don't think he's had any amateur experience, but he was good. He was definitely good. He's definitely in the right hands, because whatever he's doing it right. I was very impressed for a lad who's had one fight. Very impressed. Then I had 4, maybe 5 rounds with Tommy Fury. And I must admit, I was very impressed. He was much, much better than I thought he was going to be. Now, I knew he was going to be decent, but he was much, much better than decent. I was impressed with his timing, with his range, with his footwork, with his movement. Very impressed. I found it hard getting out the way of his jab. He was better in all areas than I thought he was going to be. I'm sure he gets better sparring than what he'll get off me. You got to remember I'm nearly 40 years old, and Tommy's a baby in boxing terms, really. Is he 23, I think? But I was glad I could make it reasonably competitive, and land some of my own punches, but just singles. I couldn't put anything together. He was elusive. He was faster than I thought. He was sharp on his feet, good feints, good everything. He was making me do all the things that I don't like to do. I was going on the front foot and overextending, to his credit. He was drawing us in. He was making us miss a lot. A lot of my counters were just falling short by an inch or so. He pulls back quickly. Just when you think you're going to connect, he's out the way. He was elusive, very good in all areas. I must admit I was impressed. You see, in my opinion, for whatever that's worth, I don't think Tommy gets the respect of the boxing world and of the public, for that matter, that he deserves. If he was called Tommy Smith and he was an average Joe from Manchester with an 8-0 boxing record, was now fighting in a massive money fight, in Dubai, I think he'd be getting a lot more credit. But because he's Tyson's brother, there's always that basis for comparison. You see, if you cast your mind back, you might be able to remember when Tyson Fury was on the rise and he was fighting towards British titles and fighting the likes of John McDermott, because all the critics and all the analysts said the same thing. Tyson wasn't going to be a world champion. Well, just look now. He's the best, most entertaining heavyweight on the planet. So I think he deserves a lot more credit than he gets. Whether he gets it or whether he doesn't from the public or the boxing world is out my hands. He's certainly got my full credit and respect. I was very impressed with him. And I think what we see on the telly when Tommy and most prospects, for that matter, are fighting lesser men, people who are levels below them, what they do is they come down to their level, and you don't really always get a chance to see them shine. Well, the best is definitely still to come, as far as aesthetically pleasing for the eyes, definitely, because he's got much more to offer than we've seen. Like I say, I've been in there with some good lads, and I was very impressed today. It was making us miss and everything I've just said, you know, it was good, very good. You know, I was glad that I could make it reasonably competitive, you know, and land some of my own punches. And I was glad that I was invited back down to the gym. You know, I had a really good time. Massive shout out and thank you to Alex Matvienko, John Fury, Roman Fury, and of course, Tommy Fury. Thank you, lads. Had a brilliant day. Good experience. Thank you.